represent those of the station or its advertisers, although we think they should. But that's the opinion of America Matters Media.
This is not America. Little piece of you.
Well, welcome to Talking Truth to Power. I'm your host, Brendan Trainor. My co-host, Leland Faegre.
On our annual Thanksgiving edition.
Yes. We have Jay.
You only do it once a year, the Thanksgiving.
Well, what do you have anything special you're thankful for?
The show.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah. Start with that, yeah.
I, for one, am thankful that I have 2 arms.
Yeah, that's true, because you can always get more vaccinations.
More vaccines. God gave it to me. It's intelligent design.
I tell you. These creatures of the state are just so peculiar, aren't they?
Yes.
Where did he come up with that?
Mr. What's his name? Ashland Jeh?
Yeah, I recognize him, but I don't know his name.
Hashish Jah.
I'm not
Hashish Jah.
Hashish Jah?
Yeah.
I'm not sure I even want to know his name.
He's one of those new, Indian and Paki administrators that the wasps and the bugs are bringing over to lord it over the Goyim.
Sure, yeah. To give them legitimacy and power over us.
Yes. Oh, my goodness.
We're not thankful for them.
No, we're not.
That's one thing.
Hell
no! And we have a new announced Democratic ticket, Biden and Fetterman. It's a no-brainer.
It's a no-brainer ticket, isn't it? Yeah.
This is about the future of the liberal world order, and we have to stand firm.
And that MSNBC host that actually suggested that.
Yes.
Remember that?
Yeah. Immediately.
Yeah.
As soon as the guy wins.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. Well,
no wonder nobody watches that channel.
Well, what's going on with Elon Musk and freedom of speech? He put Trump back on and quite a few others, although he left quite a few others off. He refuses to bring back Alex Jones because he profited over children's deaths.
Well, the quick answer is he wants to stay in good graces of the state, whether it's the European Union or here at home. That's what it is. He wants to meet this middle ground, I think, is the answer to your question. It's a short answer, but that's what it is.
Yeah. Or maybe it's because he knows that he has to find a way. If he goes too far, they can strangle him. They can take Twitter off the app stores or credit card processing. They have a lot of power.
Wouldn't he just go self-contained like Lindell? Or
he may be trying to set that up.
Yeah. I mean, and Nay or Ye.
Yeah.
Ye has to do the same thing now, I think.
Yeah, but it's obvious the Jews can do whatever they want to you ultimately, and I say Jews, there's bugs and wasps involved, but primarily it's the chosen people. There's no way to get around the Jewish power, which is why I advocate so strongly for everybody to say this year, your Thanksgiving resolution, Jews are the problem.
I thought that's a New Year's resolution.
We're making it early.
Oh, okay. We'll probably need the extra time.
Nope. The only way we're going to be able to negate their power is to be open about it. Start looking to see who is making these decisions that negatively affect your lives and the lives of your family, especially if you're white and working class. No Chinaman ever called me goy, and no Russian ever tried to mutilate my children's genitals to change them to another sex.
No.
No.
And
get them out of here!
Exactly. Don't you love that about Trump, honestly?
It's just about free speech, nothing else.
Right.
No violence, nothing else. Just be able to say the two words that Dave Chappelle said can never be said, the Jews. Well, Lauren Boebert won her seat in Colorado.
Yeah. Squeaked it out.
Yep.
And that was a redistricted district as well.
Yes, it
That's
was
how-
not a red district.
No.
No. So some Democrats must have voted for it, and a lot of independents. And then also this week we had the drag queen story out in Colorado.
There was a drag queen story? Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Where the bullets flew?
A non-binary shooter, it turns out. At least that's what you say his lawyer says.
Yeah, that's what his lawyer's telling everybody.
Yeah. He goes by MX.
He does?
Instead of Mr. He likes to be called MX.
MX, okay.
And
Who let the dogs out? Who let the dogs out?
no other motive has been ascertained except that he's, a little bat dung crazy.
A little.
A little.
Just a little.
Just
I mean,
a little.
what I do, it was probably the music. He probably just didn't like the music. Because that's what I do when I hate the music.
Yeah, just
I start shooting.
grab your rifle and start shooting people.
Inconceivable!
So a 15-year Army veteran who was at the drag show with his family and an unnamed other person disarmed and beat him with his own gun.
I'd be curious to know why he was there.
Well, apparently he's a very tolerant individual or whatever. His two family members were wounded, but he had the gun, and he was beating them with the gun when the police arrived, and they still handcuffed him and kept him in a car for what seemed like an hour, he said. And the shooter had threatened his parents with a bomb a few years earlier, but he still got the gun somehow.
We don't know. We don't know.
Yeah. Yep. So
He got it legally.
He got it legally, apparently.
You're not supposed, just so our listeners know, you're not supposed to use guns in that way.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. The right to keep and bear arms does not mean killing people,
one
even
way.
if you think they are somehow immoral.
Exactly.
But because of a verse in the Bible, Ezekiel 20, I think it is, and because of that one verse, that doesn't give you a license to go around killing people.
It's the Russian playbook. This is right out of the Russian playbook.
You hear it all the time. Buy local, think local, eat local, choose local, grow local. But who the heck really is local? You can shop with locals at the Nevada Marketplace in the Reno Town Mall and search for locals at buynevadafirst.com. We're all local all the time.
At A Proper Fit Footwear in the Reno Town Mall, we've been accomplishing happy feet for over 30 years.
We offer a various range of shoe styles and sizes for both men and women. From all-season shoes and orthotics to work boots and safety shoes, our professional and reliable staff possesses the knowledge to help you find the proper shoes to fit your needs. Hard to fit? Hard to find?
A Proper Fit Footwear is here to give our customers happy feet. We make people aware of potential foot problems as we're sizing their feet, suggesting the right arch support, and guiding them to the proper shoes for their needs.
Stop by A Proper Fit Footwear at 4001 South Virginia Street in the Reno Town Mall today, and allow the owner Mike Jones and our fabulous staff to find the perfect pair of shoes tailored to your specific needs.
A Proper Fit Footwear in the Reno Town Mall, the home of happy feet, where comfort and your feet meet.
Sliced fresh sandwiches every day, made right before your eyes. The port of Subway could be a smoking number 5 or a classic number 8, or maybe an Italian is your number 1 fave. Whatever you crave, prepare to fall in love. Sliced fresh sandwiches, Port of Subs.
Port of Sub's Meatball Marinara Bundle is good. Tender, juicy meatballs on savory, fresh-baked rosemary Swiss bread covered with zesty marinara and provolone cheese, then grilled to perfection. Your Meatball Marinara Bundle comes with cheddar sun chips, an ice-cold Dr. Pepper, and a baked fresh daily classic chocolate chip cookie. Fall in love with the Meatball Marinara Bundle. It's a meal that even your nonna will love. Visit your neighborhood Port of Subs today or order online at portofsubs.com or on our app. Port of Subs, slicing fresh for 50 years.
Whatever yummy number you're dreaming of, sliced fresh sandwiches, Port of Subs.
For those fortunate enough to help the person who has always been their hero, find the care guides you need to help at aarp.org/caregiving. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Unable to listen to the whole show? A recording of today's program will be available later today. Visit americamatters.us and click on the podcast link. Now, back to the show.
Well, welcome back to Talking Truth to Power on this Thanksgiving week. And another thing we can be thankful for
Another thing?
is Republicans are going to start the Hunter Biden investigation. And CBS, 2 years after the fact,
They've been on it.
They certified that drive was authentic.
They've been on it. They wanted to be sure before they. That's how journalistically concerned they were about that laptop.
Journalistic ethics, you know. Same ethics as Sam Harris, you know.
They're an embarrassment to this country. That fourth estate, I mean, with very few exceptions.
To the West, apparently.
Yeah, apparently.
I mean, the whole West is telling a bunch of lies.
Mm-hmm.
But in this country, I mean, the American people, I don't know. The results of the election, I don't know what they were thinking. But anyway.
Well, one thing that came to my attention over the past week,
yes,
since the November 8th election, is that more than half of eligible voters stayed at home.
Did they?
Yeah.
Okay.
Now,
I thought there was a groundswell.
Now, what does that say? With all that's going on about those people.
Uh-huh.
Now, I'm not complaining that they didn't vote,
right,
mind you, because I don't want them to vote. If you're sitting on your butt
and you don't know who to vote
and
for,
you don't know what to do, you should stay at home. In fact, let me know what I can do to keep you there. But it does suggest a large aggregate problem that the majority of Americans who are eligible to vote do not.
Uh-huh.
Oh, my God. That's the most striking thing I've taken away from the election.
Yes. Well, you could be right that is the most striking thing. There's a lot of striking things to take away, but you're right.
But that's an army that we couldn't count on.
Uh-huh. We couldn't bring them out to the polls.
And the issues didn't take them to the polls.
Right, right.
An unsecured border? Without a border, you don't have a nation. You have a hemisphere. Are we going to talk about that today?
Say what? We can, if you want to, because it's coming down to two different
Well, Blinken
hemispheres.
mentioned it just a couple of weeks ago.
Uh-huh.
Not that we haven't been discussing it here on the show, but when Blinken talks about it, you know they're talking about it.
Uh-huh.
Our enemies are on top of that. Because how do they justify the continuation of this status quo of a border that's leaking like a sieve? That's what they're doing. They're going to legitimize. Oh, well, they're here. Well, maybe we shouldn't even be concerned with borders. Maybe the entire hemisphere should just join in one large European-like union.
Uh-huh.
What do you think?
Well, we'd have a whole lot of Italys and a whole lot of Spains on our hands if we did that.
We could have one currency in the entire region. What do you think?
Yeah. What was
Oh, here's another idea. We could have one parliamentary system for the entire hemisphere.
Right. Uh-huh.
Nope. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's what they want. That's what they're seeking. That's why they are indifferent to the lack of borders in this hemisphere and why they're moving in the direction that they are.
There was an outfit called worldgovernment.org that held a conference this week.
Was there?
Yeah, and they claimed, that they're not globalists.
They're called World Government, but they're not globalists.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Has the planet gone mad?
I think that's self-evident.
Yeah. Oh, man. Too bad I didn't put that in. I thought that story was so weird it wasn't worth talking about, but because I didn't know much about this organization. But that's I saw it. It said worldgovernment.org on the stage, and they were saying, "Oh, no, we're not globalists."
That would have got my attention.
Yeah. Well, presumed speaker, has he been officially confirmed, McCarthy? Or
No, but it looks like it's a fait accompli. No, I mean, a lot of people are
Scalise
taking
is
issue with that.
dropping out?
Well, I mean, and Gates says he's not going to get the votes, but where are those votes going to go? I mean, he's talking like he's the speaker.
Yeah.
He says enough is enough. I got to give him credit for that. I think Trump has him where he wants him. You know.
Yeah.
Because he could have lopped his head off a long time ago.
I hear MGT will support him.
Yeah, I heard that too. Yeah, because he has capitulated to the new party, the new Republican Party. The old party's gone.
Yeah.
I mean, there's hangers on there. You know, we've got the likes of McConnell,
Mittens,
yeah, and others. But that old party is dead.
Yeah.
Whether they want to admit it or not.
Yeah, when they
and they got Karl Rove running
yeah.
interference for him on Fox. You know,
Dagan McCullough or whatever her
and
name
he
is.
does it so cleverly. Do you notice that?
Yeah, Karl Rove.
You got to really understand.
He's born in Sparks, you know.
Yeah, on the 25th of December.
Oh, the nativity of Karl Rove.
It's just amazing to me how clever he is. He's very good at what he does. If you don't really understand the dynamics of what we're witnessing here on the political landscape, you would never know that Karl Rove is actually speaking for the Bushes and the neocons. You just wouldn't get it. It's very nuanced. The tiniest of...
Yeah.
It's just a word here, a word there. I watch him every time just to see how he does it.
His speech is almost Talmudic in its...
Get him out of here!
Yeah. Precision.
As soon as possible, get him out of here.
Yeah. Now, Ilhan Omar, she's in hot water with Speaker McCarthy, or presumed Speaker McCarthy. He's going to expel Swalwell. I can see that. I mean, you can't get security clearance after you sleep with a Chinese spy. I mean, I'm sorry.
Well, and then Schiff. I mean, if there was ever a discredited human being.
Yeah, I mean, he's lied through his teeth.
Yeah, he doesn't know how to tell the truth.
Right. But Omar, it's not because of their immigration problems, apparently. It's because she said some, nasty things about the state of Israel.
She did?
You can't have somebody spreading these anti-Semitic tropes in the Congress, even though the congressional floor is supposed to be a free speech zone, if there anyone is.
If there is one, yeah.
Whatever, I'll do what I want.
So if that does happen, I mean, that would be a victory for this whole movement to make any criticism of Israel declared anti-Semitic. Not that you shouldn't be anti-Semitic. I think we should say counter-Semitic instead of anti-Semitic. That's maybe a better word.
God, we are so smart here on Talking Truth to Power. That's good, man.
I know Republicans want revenge, right, for having Marjorie Taylor Greene and others.
I know I do.
Disenfranchised, yeah. But and I'd like the Swalwell and Schiff bouncings, but I'm not sure about this one.
But she married her brother to get here.
Yeah, but she's
like an illegal alien. She shouldn't be here.
Yeah.
She illegally misrepresented her
status. Has that been proven,
Oh, yeah, it has been.
I don't know.
The DOJ's just dropped the story because they don't want to go after her.
But that's not the stated reason.
No, that's not. Yeah.
That's not the stated reason. So, it should not be against the House rules to censor somebody just for their political opinions. It's not the First Amendment, the spirit of the First Amendment. And it's an affront to the voters in Minneapolis. I mean, they voted her in. She should have some power to do some stuff. Hopefully not too much stuff. We've got to limit the damage, but at least she should be able to speak out.
Well, and
trans girl is a girl.
And what does that say about us?
Yeah.
We get the government we deserve.
Exactly. Well, we had the ongoing saga this week.
We did?
Of Sam Bankman-Fried.
Fried.
No, he's fried.
Oh, he's fried? Is that why you...
He was
Is that why you're pronouncing it that way? I see.
So...
What a case, huh?
Yes. And once again, just like Bitcoin Isaiah Jackson, who had a job with a Bitcoin magazine but lost it after he tweeted, "Look up the religious affiliations of everyone involved in the FTX collapse. Kanye was right." I think that's going to be the slogan for the next
Kanye was right?
Kanye
That's
was
a good
right.
slogan.
Yeah. So Glenn Ellison, the father of his girlfriend, head of the Department of Economics at what school? Georgetown? I think so.
Probably. Yeah.
Gary Gensler, the head of the SEC, the Securities Exchange Commission, and former professor of economics, also one of the chosen people. And then there was that little Carolyn Ellison, the CEO of Alameda. You know, the little girl with the kind of front teeth overbite.
His girlfriend? The
Yeah,
one yeah,
Carolyn. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
She's
really
she used
smart.
she used to come to work sometimes in a green, sultry woodlands nymph outfit, she called it.
She did.
And did you see what her private blog? Which is
No, I did not.
Yeah, she was into.
She had a private blog?
Yeah.
Nope.
She was talking about polyamorous relations.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Mm-hmm. Well, if you had him in your circle,
you'd want some others.
Yeah.
But she didn't like the basically all 5 or 10 of them were in the same house and they were all doing each other apparently. Some of them were Chinese, or there was a Wang involved, and a couple of Orientals, but mostly the chosen people.
Very smart people.
Exactly. So, she was the daughter of Glenn Ellison, and she thought that though polyamorous relationships should be on the Chinese emperor's harem model, with a lot of hierarchical structures and the women fighting each other to be the top courtesan.
Wow.
That was her idea of utopia.
Wow. Where'd she get that?
She didn't know math either.
No. Well, neither did he.
Hi, this is Eddie Floyd. Let me tell you about my favorite non-profit public charity, Wainema Wild Horse Sanctuary, located on the Forsyth Ranch in Hallelujah Junction area. And please go to www.wainemaranch.com. That's WYNEMA ranch.com.
Destination Midtown. Experience the difference. Reno's premier shopping extravaganza. Everything imaginable and more. Midtown matters. Get down to Midtown.
Beefy's, the best little diner in the biggest little city. Cheeseburgers extraordinaire, chili cheese omelets, and the best milkshakes in Midtown and Reno. Beefy's. Try the full Beefy's menu and beer on tap. Beefy's, South Virginia at Arroyo.
Midtown Reno. Experience the difference. Get down to Midtown. Midtown matters.
The Delta and Bonanza saloons in Virginia City are simply elegant. Imagine ascending the grand staircase and being surrounded by the Victorian elegance and grandeur of the historic banquet rooms. Original crystal chandeliers, mahogany bars, and oak dance floors highlight the eloquently appointed spaces. A truly romantic and unique setting for your wedding, banquets, or holiday parties. Detailed ceremony and menu planning ensures your special event is a memorable occasion. With just one call to Jesse at 775-847-0789, all of your arrangements will be handled by their experienced staff, with your every expectation in mind, including cakes, flowers, photography, videography, music, and party amenities. Complete ceremony and reception packages are available, as well as their famous themed weddings. Since 1865, the Delta and Bonanza Saloon's guests have come from every state in the Union. Now it's your turn. No event is too large or too small. Let the Delta and Bonanza Saloons plan your next incredible event. Call Jesse at 775-847-0789.
Call Sunset Dental because you're worth it. They can make your your smile perfect. You're gonna love your new smile. Sursic Dental for a perfect smile.
Sursic Dental has a $125 special that includes a cleaning, x-rays, a free Sonicare toothbrush, and a free cosmetic makeover consultation.
Sursic Dental for a perfect
Call
smile.
827-1113.
Are you shy and don't want to talk on the air? Text us your questions or comments to 775-237-2266. Now back to the show.
Welcome back to Talking Truth to Power. And we were talking about Sam Bankman-Fried, SBF, and the collapse of
Well, you know you're important when you just get a three-letter reference.
right. And he's such a dumpy, nerdy guy, you know. And the whole thing reminds me of the movie Being There. I know you.
Oh no, I did see that film.
Yes, with Peter Sellers and John C. Gardner.
One of my favorite films ever, because there's a reference to world government in there.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. And this is he's a slow-minded Gardner, but he keeps saying dumb, blonde, you know, things at the right moment, and people think he's a genius
because he was not well spoken, but he spoke when he should have spoken.
And that's what this kid.
He said very little without saying very much.
Yeah, this kid had nothing but BS.
Yeah.
And he got all these people and institutions to give him billions of dollars. And then one time with Sequoia Capital, located in Menlo Park, California, they were interviewing him on this big deal, hundreds of millions or $1 billion. And while he was talking to them about all this stuff, he was playing a video game. And they were all blown away by it. They thought he was kind of avatar.
Yeah,
you know?
That's exactly right. Yeah, he was multitasking, and that was so impressive to them. Chauncey Gardner was his name.
Yeah, Chauncey Gardner. Peter Sellers was the actor that played him. And it turns out, you know, they've investigated how he plays his game. His favorite one was League of Heroes or something.
His video game?
Yeah, video game. He's on the second lowest level after playing 4 or 5 years this game.
Now, how do you know that?
Because they looked over his record.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, he plays in tournaments, he plays against people, and they keep a record, and they managed to look up his record. He's like a bronze 3.
Oops. Nobody cared because the money was flying, huh? He's on fire!
Yeah.
He'd created this effectively like a Ponzi scheme.
Exactly. And he was creating these tokens
in the greatest tradition of those that created Ponzi schemes.
which are probably worth $2 because of the labor you put into them.
Mm-hmm.
He created the tokens, and then he gave them over to Alameda, and Alameda, they got valued at, you know, all this money because, you know, people get
from speculation.
They pump these things up on the market. And
dump and pump.
Dump and pump, exactly. So, excuse me.
Are you still with us?
Yeah.
Okay.
So when the market fell, then the valuation of these tokens also fell, and then all of a sudden people wanted their money.
Suddenly they want their money back.
Yeah.
Funny how that works.
And then we had this other high-tech entrepreneur, CJ, or CZ, yes. The Malaysian.
Right.
Yeah, Chinese living in Malaysia, apparently, or whatever. But it's a Chinese firm, and he noticed this, and so he suddenly announced 2 days before he did it. Nobody does that normally. He says, you know what, I'm going to sell all my 1 billion of these tokens.
He should have done it quietly, right?
No, he wanted to announce it.
Yeah, I know, but he should have.
Yeah, he should have just done it.
He didn't know how to act in his own. Yeah, he didn't know how to act in his own interest. Is basically what.
Well, he got some money out of it.
Well, yeah, but I suppose. But I mean, he could have gotten more out of it.
Yeah, he sold it then, and he got money out of it, and everybody else is left holding the bag. Tom Brady was doing commercials. Some people are saying he put his whole football wealth into this.
Was the sports teams also were involved somewhere? Was it was it the Oakland Raiders? I mean, some San Francisco team was pushing it.
Plus, he was the second biggest donor to the Democratic Party.
Yeah, that helps.
Yeah, his mother or
behind George Soros.
Yeah, his mother or her mother ran a big Democratic PAC. You know,
well, because his parents are really smart.
Yeah. Look at Kevin O'Leary of Shark Tank. I mean, nobody did. Did he know anything about that? Didn't anybody want to go to the Bahamas and see how these kids were, what they were doing?
No, because they're so smart.
They say the right things at the right time.
Get them out of here! Exactly. But nobody's even put cuffs on this guy yet.
No. He's being watched by the Bahamian government, but there are reports that the Bahamian government took money out of his firm after he filed bankruptcy. So that's another no-no.
Uh-huh. Yep.
They can't find this little sultry wood nymph either. She's hiding out somewhere, too.
Yeah, that's another good question. Yeah.
With hundreds of millions.
Where is she now? Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
I think she's a flight risk.
Oh. She could probably go anywhere in the world. I think if she's Jewish, she could probably go to Israel.
Well, she'd be recognized no matter where she went.
He wanted to go to Dubai, I think. But why wouldn't they go to Israel? Because, that's a haven for fraudsters. They won't extradite them or they'll give them a show
they might
trial.
make an exception here because it's just so extraordinary, but amazing.
Oh, well.
Amazing what we're witnessing.
Huh. That's the way to be there. But, other people are saying this whole thing could be a setup to pass the bill in Congress, the Digital Commodities Consumer Protection Act.
Oh, I think so.
In order to bring...
Nothing succeeds like regulatory failure.
Exactly. And Kevin O'Leary said, I won't invest anymore unless there's regulations. Come on, man.
How much did he put into it? Do we know?
I don't know how much we put in. But, that
sure taints his reputation, doesn't it?
Right, exactly.
It reveals him for the fraud that he is.
Uh-huh.
You and I didn't lose any money on
it. No. Get rich quick. And then...
is that what it is?
Yeah, well, sure.
I see. So it's not get rich slowly. It's get rich quick.
Right.
Huh. Let me put that on my notes here.
Yeah, I mean, there were pension funds involved.
Yeah, some state pension funds.
Right.
Minnesota. Where else?
Illinois.
Follow the color blue.
Yeah.
Shut up and take my money.
Just follow stupid and you'll figure it out.
Yeah. And besides that, they may have been laundering taxpayer money in the Ukraine.
Yeah.
There
does seem to be a Ukrainian connection there as well.
Yeah. So I know Marjorie Taylor Greene and Matt Gaetz and others are calling for the audit of the funds going to Ukraine. But I think they're going to find a lot of them just went down the old crypto hole here.
Yeah.
Now, I've seen a lot of people that say, keep in mind, Bitcoin is not one of these crypto tokens. I know the price of Bitcoin has gone down, but it'll probably rebound because according to the Bitcoin people that have spoken up, Bitcoin is a totally separate thing. It's not all of these tokens are venture capital funded, and they're centralized, and they do what's called an ICO, which is an initial coin offering, like an
IPO.
Like a stock offering, right? And they sell them on that basis, and it's and then they pump it up, like you said. They pump it up and
pump and dump.
Yeah. when it gets, but Bitcoin is much more decentralized. It's mined by many thousands of people.
I like that it's competition to central banking.
Yes.
I mean, that's a beautiful concept, but the central banks don't like it. As it turns out. So now they've come up with their own digital currency, which they're apparently about ready to trial.
To co-opt.
Yeah.
Well, that's the West is going to all of this fiat money, and I mean the whole West, the America, Europe, the Five Eyes.
You mean fiat paper without commodity backing?
Right.
That kind of...
And digital would fit into that.
Yeah.
I mean, there's nothing behind these tokens except the government stamp if they get a central bank.
Full faith and credit.
Yep. And meanwhile, the East is going to more and more towards commodity-based money.
Right. Isn't that interesting?
Yes.
Is this thing on? By East, you mean?
China, Russia.
Yeah. The BRICS?
The BRICS, yep.
It's a big club.
We're not in it.
We're not in it because we consider them the adversary or the enemy, whichever politician wants to
how they want to spin it.
Yeah, exactly. So, and who controls the financial world made up of all of these fiat assets? What ethnicity?
Wait for it.
Wait for it.
They happen to be Jewish.
They happen.
Yeah.
It's a coincidence.
I'm sure it's just coincidence.
We can't talk about it.
No.
It's our fault.
Shut up. Yeah. It is our fault.
Yep. We better sleep at the wheel. So
I've called security just to
be sure that we're okay. Yeah, because we didn't give the ADL disclaimer.
No, we did not.
No. So you never know who's going to burst through the door.
We didn't play the bumper music or anything.
No.
Oh, hell no!
So the Western world is on a fast track to somewhere, and the Eastern world is on a different track to somewhere.
Like a bridge to nowhere.
Yeah. Ours is like a bridge to nowhere. I think theirs is more grounded. I think it's more based. I think that's the word.
Commodity-based.
Commodity-based.
Which is why we will work together and continue to work.
Whoops.
Businesses, writers, check this out. Go to lrpnv.com to get your printing, publishing, and professional services today. Need a virtual office? A place to receive and forward your mail with professional address and suite number for your business? Someone to answer your telephones? Want to rent a conference room for only $15 an hour? What about that book you've been wanting to have printed? LRP Printing and Business Center can do it for you, and they have a professional assistant on site daily, Monday through Friday. Just call 775-356-1004. Need copies, business cards, invoices, books, booklets, or graphic design to help brand you or your business? Just call 775-356-1004 or go to lrpnv.com. With a great selection of new and used books, you can get your printing done and a book to entertain you in your time off. And don't forget, you could have your business sponsoring the Bookhound Radio Show, just like Andrew Martoni, author of Little Men in the Math, does every week. Just go to lrpnv.com. That's lrpnv.com or call 775-356-1004. They'll provide solutions for your business and writing projects.
Sliced fresh sandwiches every day, made right before your eyes. The port of Subway could be a smoking number 5 or a classic number 8, or maybe an Italian is your number 1 fave. Whatever you crave, prepare to fall in love. Sliced fresh sandwiches, port of Subs.
Port of Subs Meatball Marinara Bundle is good. Tender, juicy meatballs on savory, fresh-baked rosemary Swiss bread covered with zesty marinara and provolone cheese, then grilled to perfection. Your Meatball Marinara Bundle comes with cheddar sun chips, an ice-cold Dr. Pepper, and a baked fresh daily classic chocolate chip cookie. Fall in love with the Meatball Marinara Bundle. It's a meal that even your nana will love. Visit your neighborhood Port of Subs today or order online at portofsubs.com or on our app. Port of Subs, slicing fresh for 50 years.
Whatever yummy number you're dreaming of, sliced fresh fresh sandwiches, Port of Subs.
At A Proper Fit Footwear in the Reno Town Mall, we've been accomplishing happy feet for over 30 years.
We offer a various range of shoe styles and sizes for both men and women. From all-season shoes and orthotics to work boots and safety shoes, our professional and reliable staff possesses the knowledge to help you find the proper shoes to fit your needs. Hard to fit? Hard to find?
A Proper Fit Footwear is here to give our customers happy feet. We make people aware of potential foot problems as we're sizing their feet, suggesting the right arch support, and guiding them to the proper shoes for their needs.
Stop by A Proper Fit Footwear at 4001 South Virginia Street in the Reno Town Mall today, and allow the owner Mike Jones and our fabulous staff to find the perfect pair of shoes tailored to your specific needs.
A Proper Fit Footwear in the Reno Town Mall, the home of happy feet, where comfort and your feet meet.
To join the conversation, call 844-790-TALK. That's 844-790-8255. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back to Talking Truth to Power. I'm your host, Bernard Trainor. I'm here with my co-host, Leland Faegre. Do you know that the West's sanctions on Russia are leaking?
The sanctions are leaking?
The sanctions are leaking, yes.
That would be a liquidity problem.
Say woo! They're leaking because even though the Ursula von der Leyen and her friends over at the EU are insisting that they're sanctioned Russian oil and gas, they're still getting Russian oil and gas. They're just buying it from other people, and they're just outright buying LNG.
Is it like a black market kind of a situation?
Yeah, liquid natural gas.
Yeah.
They're just openly importing that, and they're still doing diesel, so they're leaking, but still things are not looking good.
Things aren't looking good?
No, it looks like a cold, cold winter.
Their first major winter system is now affecting the continent as we speak, apparently.
Yeah. Viktor Orban blocks the latest sanctions on Russia until the EU stops sanctioning his country, Hungary. They owe him quite a bit of money. I think it's $13 billion or something in payments. But he's such a nasty man.
He's
they won't
such
pay him.
Evil.
I know.
Mean old.
He's not a liberal. He's an illiberal. That's what they call him. Well,
does Tucker Carlson know this? Tucker was blamed for that Colorado shooting. Did you see that?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Tucker's a mean person. Who's really good too is Jesse Waters.
Before him. Yeah.
Those are the best 2 hours on weekdays.
The show. Yeah, that's for sure. Well, I like Gutfield too.
I do too. He's just there's just not as comedy. Academic of an approach to it.
Right. All right. Well, the Russia retreated from the city of Kherson.
Yeah.
Because there's a river that runs through it.
That's got a ring to it.
Yes.
That's damn good. I'm going to write that down.
The Dnieper River empties into the Black Sea right there, and it was not defensible. So they left, went across the river, and they can defend the river from the other side very well. And so the Ukrainian army immediately went in to some degree. It took them a while to even get in there, and then they had pictures, and Zelensky was there and all that, but the fact is they can't run the city. There's no electricity, and it's in a precarious position. So they started evacuating their own people.
And it's cold.
It's cold, yeah. So, and meanwhile, in the Donbass, even though we don't hear about it, they're still making progress. They're destroying the areas close to the city of Donetsk. the city of Donetsk is the capital city of the Donbass, and it was always right on the front lines, up after 2015 when the Ukrainians really pushed through and took a lot of that territory from them. But for the last few months, it's been heavily shelled, even though it's a civilian city. Tens of people at a time, can have often been blown up by these shells coming from the Ukraine, which is a war crime, but which we never hear about. So they're clearing some of that out. They're still fighting in Bakhmut. I just saw videos of Russian inflammatory shells where the shell blows up in midair and you see all these white phosphorus descending into the ground.
That imagery, yeah.
Looks almost like a meteor shower, but and Zelensky is still accusing Russia of shelling its own nuclear plant. Well, the Russians, they're just crazy. They keep bombing themselves.
Yeah, right. And starting World War III by firing missiles over into Poland.
Yeah. he still won't admit that was a Ukrainian missile.
Nope.
And if it was some kind of clumsy false flag, and it looks more and more like it was, then also a video came out that showed Russian soldiers surrendering. And then
that was ugly, wasn't it?
Yeah, and then the video cuts out, and then the next scene is the Russian soldiers that were told to lie down on the ground when they were surrendering. They're all they're all lying in a pool of blood. So the Ukrainian executed them. But Zelensky says, no, they were spies. They were going to get up and shoot the Ukrainian soldiers.
It's the Russian playbook. This is right out of the Russian playbook.
Exactly. These are our allies, though, at least for a while. The new Pakistani Prime Minister of England, Sunak, did you see where he was taped with Justin Trudeau on a cell phone call with Zelensky at the G20 summit? Mm-hmm. And they were schmoozing over Zelensky over the phone? That was pretty cringe.
Mm-hmm. There was another incident where Trudeau approached Xi. Did you see that little?
Yeah, and Xi, chastised him. You see, the Chinese cannot take on America directly because we need each other too much. There's too much trade.
Dependency.
But they can shake down some of the Five Eyes countries.
Yeah.
Now, New Zealand's gotten real friendly with them, so they don't mind New Zealand anymore.
They don't.
No, but Australia, Canada, and the other...
but Castro's son?
Yeah.
It's a whole different story.
Yeah. Justin Trudeau Castro. They can shake them down. These countries don't have the resources that we do to get into a trade war with China. So, but he accused Trudeau of leaking their conversation.
Right.
And, Putin has said the same thing about Macron. Mm-hmm. He says every time he talks to Macron, he has to assume there are people in the room.
We hear it over here.
Yeah. So trustworthy our representatives.
Yep. Well, Macron was quoted as saying that we want a single world order, which was a direct affront to China and Russia in that statement.
Sure it is.
He in other words, he's taking sides with the unipolar concept. And he didn't even conceal in any way or disguise his preference in that statement. So he reveals just who he is and whose side he wants to be on. So that's what it was.
Inconceivable! And then Macron was in Asia, and he called Russia an imperialist colonial country, empire. Meanwhile, in Burkina Faso, the African country, I'm not sure I pronounced that right.
I don't think you are, but I'm not sure how to correct it.
Yeah.
We'll let it go. Judges?
There are all kinds of riots against the French for their mining operations there going on in Africa. So
the legacy of colonialism just never ends.
Irony is a lost art among our political class. But the new Prime Minister of Italy, Meloni, she went after Macron.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know, did you hear her
She's
speak?
the new leader of the European zone. That's what that is.
Did you hear her speak? How assertive she is?
Yes. Yeah. No, she doesn't. She does not equivocate.
She says, no, I've heard said of her that she has a working class Roman accent. And boy, does she know how to display it. I tell you.
Yep. Oh, she's going to be very popular, and she's a huge problem to the Eurozone.
Yeah.
Because she is seeking sovereignty and ultimately, I think, an exit itself from the zone. You know?
Yeah. I mean, she claims not, but at this point, I mean, that's definitely where it could head, and especially on immigration.
Yeah.
And so on. So she accused France of exploiting the African people and then driving them out and to immigrate to Italy. Did you see where
the disintegration of Europe is the most exciting thing going on, really? In this broader context.
Exactly. I know we're watching it all fall apart before our eyes.
It's fun.
Yes, exactly.
Forget the Comedy Channel, ladies and gentlemen.
Another comedy special was Jon Stewart interviewed Hillary Clinton and Condoleezza Rice.
Oh, did he? I didn't see that.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And they've just both made excuses, you know. Hillary about Libya, you know, Gaddafi was going to kill all his people and we had to intervene. And
nope.
Condoleezza, well, we really thought he had weapons of mass destruction. It was not about spreading democracy. That was the farthest thing over my mind.
Nope. Oh, man, these people can't cover those tracks.
No.
There's just no way in hell. Only the stupid would buy into that, you know.
You know, Zelensky kicked CNN out of Kherson because he showed a video of a man waving a Ukrainian flag when the Ukrainian army came in. And then after he was waving for a couple of minutes, he went to a Nazi salute.
Oh, wow. Yeah. That's and that says it all right there.
Exactly.
Well, thank you for joining us on our special Thanksgiving holiday edition of Talking Truth to Power. And stay tuned for Eddie Floyd and America Matters.